Hi there, this is Wisdom here. Today I want to talk about a very interesting subject. This subject is about being high maintenance. I think there's been a lot of talk, I think, in many places about, that maybe it could be, but it's been mostly in relevance to certain type of women that have been labeled high maintenance. But I want to go into this with a very different perspective altogether because I think we really have to define high maintenance from what perspective and who's saying high maintenance, because I think, let's just be honest, there are times where I think a lot of girls were raised in an environment where she was raised in a place of abundance. I mean, not anyone's fault, but just that's the way some people were raised, that from the moment they were very young, they were born with a silver spoon, as it were. So you realize that such people, they were always raised in a place of plenty. Everything they've always wanted, they've always received it. They've gone to expensive universities. Maybe from a young age, they had maybe the father, the mom and dad provided not just a car, but maybe one of those expensive cars. There are people who are like that, and I think it then comes down to maybe just an issue of relating to someone, and you finding whether you can measure up to the expectations, and if they are not, if you can't, then making a decision to realize that this is what it is, and then from there you can make a decision that helps you. Other than that, because you realize that such people, if someone has been raised in that environment, to them, being in a life where some things are missing, to them it's just not normal, because as far as they're concerned, they've always had everything together. So then that becomes an issue to some people, but it's not really an issue as per se, because you really have to understand how these people are raised. So this doesn't apply only to women, it applies also to guys. There are some guys were raised in that environment where things have always been a certain way. So either when you come to relating with them, either you really have to understand where they're coming from, or if it's a case where you realize, what, this relationship really is not what you are looking for, then I guess it's then up to you to either step up, or maybe just walk away, or find some other way to relate better. But I think so that issue, that brings again that issue of high standards to case. So one has to look at and examine the variables at play, because like I was saying before, if someone has been raised in an environment of abundance and everything they always wanted, they won't get it. If you're going to be dating such a person, then depending on their maturity level and depending on their expectations, but naturally most people like that, they will tend to have high expectations. So to you, maybe just give an example. Maybe to another guy, maybe someone 100,000, it will be like a good job, okay? For someone in 100,000, to the other person, maybe that could be like a good job. But maybe for someone else who has always been in an environment where maybe the father was high powered, the mother maybe was running a business and they're earning a lot, to the point where to them maybe 100,000 might not be that much. So in other words, it's still okay, but as far as they're concerned, if they're talking about living a life that they're really after, they might come to a point where they just tell you, at 100,000 is just not good enough. It's not anyone's fault, it's just that who they are. And in the saving say that you find that maybe somebody will be comfortable, maybe in the average. I think in many places the average could be 55. You discover that someone might be happy with about 55. But I think ultimately it then comes down to that issue of one's expectations, and obviously one of those things that says one's expectation will include things like black background and maybe a blueprint. That the blueprint is shaped from a young age. For example, you'd find that children who are abused at a very young age, they tend to subconsciously have a blueprint of being abused. That means when they grow up, being abused is normal. That's how they've always been born. They've raised in an environment that is abusive, a very noisy environment, if you like. So to them, environment of noise, drama, and maybe abuse, to them that is normal. But someone else, that's not normal. Having said that, I think, so when you look at that issue of labeling someone high maintenance, then that comes down to basically the variables at play and understanding how that person was raised, and of course naturally you deciding whether that fits, whether that is suitable for you, and also of course at some point both of you have to realize whether this is something that you're comfortable with in terms of your expectations, their expectations. If there is an expectation gap, then either one of you has to recalibrate, or else something else has to happen. Other than that, I'm done for today. You guys, I gotta bounce. And if you're watching this video, if you're new to my videos, I would encourage you to subscribe. I'm gonna have more videos coming. And other than that, always have have a great week, whatever you're up to this week. And always remember, you have an uncommon destiny. Catch you later. See ya.